I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have great respect for all entrepreneurs, and people like you and I have built companies from ground up, so I respect what you're doing. All I'm saying here is, on a serious point, you know, this unicorn business has gone too far, I believe. And Sumant, if I can get you in on this, who gets a valuation that is 75 times their revenue? You can get a valuation twice your revenue, thrice your revenue. If you're a digital company, 5 times your revenue, 8 times your revenue. That also if you're not loss making. But who gets a valuation 50, 60, 70 times their revenue? Which company is making 17 times the loss it was making in 2020, in 2021, and get a valuation 75 times their revenue? That means the people who are giving you that valuation are carrying out some kind of fraud. Am I right, Kishore? There's something wrong. There is some motive to this.
Absolutely, Arnab, you have hit the nail on the head, because the simple reason is today if a company makes 100 crore profit, it is getting 50 times, 60 times. This valuation game is such a problem that in India, businesses have moved from offering value to valuations. That's the simple problem, because everybody wants to become rich overnight.
No,
It's a typical stock market gambler's den and mentality.
I'm amazed at this. I'm amazed at this, and I'm saying this to all investors. I'm telling this to all people who are in the stock market. I'm saying this to ordinary middle-class Indians. Please understand, you can have any number of Shah Rukh Khan, XYZ, whatever, in your ads, and you can do whatever business. But if there is a company which has a net loss of 133 crores on a net profit of 15 crores, they get a valuation of $22 billion. It's wrong. Something is wrong.
But
the antenna should go up immediately. Am I wrong in that assessment?
But also take into account the people who fund these organizations. You see, it's a vicious circle. The vicious circle is these people who are funding these organizations are the first rascals to look at exit. I'll give you an example. I'll take the name. I don't care. Look at the amount of money SoftBank has lost. It is good money after bad ideas. The idea itself was bad. Have they made money on certain issues? Of course. But my question is, as you rightly asked, a multiple of 12 is a dream. A multiple of 75 is, it's anathema to any level of investment.
It's crazy.
So, point I'm making
and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it because everybody is vested in it. There are no disclosure norms in this country. Anybody says anything. The same thing happened with cryptocurrency, and people are being taken. Indians are being taken for a ride.
Kishore, Narendra Modi did the most amazing job, and hats off to the government. And I'm no Modi bhakt, but the good job was in creating an ecosystem of Startup India. I know of many young people, Arnab, who have no valuation, but provide great value. They are getting a tax write-off. They are being systematic. They are building businesses block by block. So don't throw the baby with the bathwater. What Modi has done in Startup India is outstanding. But there will always be some people who will, defy logic.
Yeah. Sumant's coming in, Suhail.
Also the question
Sumant of Ulipso.
Yeah, see, the question is, as entrepreneurs, right? If you look at the Silicon Valley also, the same trend has been there. That, there were companies where ideas were, appreciated, and valuation was given based on the idea sometime, based on the business model sometime, even before achieving a certain quantum in the business. So now the question is whether it's wrong. The question is, it has already happened. But today, just throwing a bad light on an entrepreneur, let's say if everything would have gone right for Byjus today, everybody would have appreciated him, he was a poster boy of the entire ecosystem. And as one of other panelists said, a lot of Edtech entrepreneurs were inspired by Byjus. See, let's look at the Indian startup ecosystem, right? We saw e-commerce boom. We saw Edtech boom. We saw the fintech boom. We are seeing the EV boom now. But there are 30 crore children in the country. Edtech is a big industry. There are many problems to be solved, and there was a man who jumped in to solve these problems. and he took bold steps. And according to that, some ecosystem, supported
but
him.
do you-
Fortunate or unfortunate, supported him, whatever happened. But today, throwing completely bad light on an entrepreneur because he
This
took
is
a
not
bold step
unfortunate. Let
to
me be
really
very
work in
clear.
an
This
edtech
is not
segment.
unfortunate. An
So I
entrepreneur
think
knows what
it
is
is
he doing.
we need
When you
to
are
support
borrowing
an
1 crore for
entrepreneur
a house, you
who
know it.
has given
Forget about few thousand
10,000
crores.
plus jobs to the in the country, and who made a difference for crores of children. There were 10 crore children. There were crores of children who were learning on his platform. Where
Please, the revenue. Damn the real business. We'll get the valuation and we'll make the exit. So it's all about getting out of the company rather than building a company. This is the mentality. I'm not saying Byjus reflected that mentality, but he got sucked into it. He got sucked into it. Big life, big valuation, Dubai dreams, I call it. And eventually you have to be in Dubai. You can't come back to India, because come to India, you'll be arrested. So am I wrong in this assessment of what's going on in Indian business, a large part of the digital business especially? What do you think, Srinidhi?
Arnab, before I say anything, I would like to give some context. So first of all, when we say Byjus did a great job, so without giving a context, it would be a wrong statement. So what I believe is, when in 2011 Byju started, so he actually started an Edtech revolution in India. But now, 10 years down the line, we have close to 13,000 plus Edtech companies in the country. But all these years, so there were acquisitions and complaints about unaffordable edtech and harsh work practices and pushing parents with dreams and making them take loans to subscribe to an edtech product, right? But what I believe is now the country or the edtech ecosystem is into a different path, and now people are actually speaking about impact edtech, right? So edtech was actually commercialized and it was actually made as an industry, like how private schools are run. But when we started Cherry Learn 3 years down the line, so we were inspired by Byjus. So that's why I want to give a credit to Byju Raveendran, right? But second thing, to correct you, we are not an edtech, but we are an impact edtech, right? So what we are actually trying to do is, making education available to everyone and democratizing quality education. So my stand is, in India, in K5 alone.
No, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. No.
Yeah.
Srinidhi, I'm not typecasting you. I'm not typecasting you. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have great respect for all entrepreneurs, and people like you and I have built companies from ground up, so I respect what you're doing. All I'm saying here is, on a serious point, this unicorn business has gone too far, I believe. And Sumant, if I can get you in on this, who gets a valuation that is 75 times their revenue? You can get a valuation twice your revenue, thrice your revenue. If you're a digital company, 5 times your revenue, 8 times your revenue. That also if you're not loss making. But who gets a valuation 50, 60, 70 times their revenue? Which company is making 17 times the loss it was making in 2020, in 2021,